This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in colorful Colorado. I'm here with Hegdhal Enterprises. Since 2003, they have been providing really internet connectivity, keeping you connected with low voltage wiring, all the needs that basically make sure we're connected out there, Mike. That's quite a task. Let's start off a little bit with yourself. You've got over really 30 years in the communications industry. Share with me how it is you got involved in this particular industry and why you decided to branch out in '03.
I was in the Air Force, and that's where I got my electronics training. And after getting out of the Air Force, I went through a VOTEC school and sent out resumes and got offered a job here in Colorado.
Interesting. In 2003, you decided to branch out, basically do your own thing. Why was that something important for you?
Well, I had been a manager for a company called Interwest Communications for several years and moved on to area operations manager for NEC Business Communications here in the local area for several states. And when the dot-com crash happened, they closed the California office and brought the manager in here, and I helped him introduce him to the customer base here in town, and moved on at that time, and it was time to start my own company. So
start your own company. I mean, quite honestly, you've overseen many projects over 30 years, I imagine. A lot of changes in the communications industry. I mean, back in the day, you could literally wire up somebody's desk with a voice line and everyone's happy. Now we're talking about moving data as well as graphics for communicating, telephone on top of it. Is that a lot of the challenges that you're able to help folks with today?
Absolutely. We've been, since starting the company, I've decided to focus on the cabling side of the industry. There aren't as many challenges as far as constantly changing technology with the wire as much as it is providing computers and software and all that. The wire, obviously there's improvements and gains in that industry, but it isn't so monumental that I have to spend an absorbent amount of money on training.
Interesting. So we're talking about cables. Are we talking about multiple cables? Are we talking about all over one standardized line, or a little bit of each?
It depends on the customer, really. If they have a voice over IP phone system, they can get by with one cable to the desktop, and that provides connectivity for both the phone and the computer. If they don't have the VoIP on the desk, it'll require a data line for the phone and an additional one for the computer setup. If they're a large enough company where they have over 300 feet between phone rooms or data rooms, then there's fiber optics in between those rooms.
Before we begin, in some of those larger companies and projects you've done, how small of a scope are you able to help with? Are we talking about residential as well as commercial, or just commercial?
I try to stay just commercial. I have done some residential work, but our forte is really in the commercial business.
Wonderful. So folks out there, I mean, quite honestly, anymore, people are setting up their homes as offices themselves. So we're talking about home networks. We're talking about home theaters. We've got a lot of networking going along out there. Your expertise is that in businesses. Share with me some of the applications that you're able to help with out there.
Pretty much anything as far as the level 1 infrastructure. There's 7 different layers to a data network. Level 1 is the physical plant, from the IT closet to the desktop. We do from IT closet to IT closet, like I said, with fiber optics. We can do campus environments where we do outside plant through manholes. The individual company will dictate what they need from point to point, and we can pretty much provide all of that.
I know one of the things that large universities, large organizations out there that are always concerned about is that of data backup. Is this something that is provided on site anymore, or is it all done in the cloud, or a little bit of each is the safest alternative?
A little bit of each, really. I mean, the cloud is the buzzword that people use anymore, and a lot of companies do a lot of storage in the cloud, but for the redundancy, most companies do both.
Interesting. Your company is able to go out there, do the complete installing. We're talking about outside of the facility or inside the facility. You're able to do both. And is this also including complete testing, making sure that everything's up to top performance?
Absolutely. We have the Fluke certified DTX 1800 is the certifier. That tester is now being replaced with an updated tester, so we'll be moving in that direction as well. So yes, everything is certified end to end.
So you guys provide the service, but you also provide the cabling as well. What are some of the cables people are able to get from you? We've got different things from fiber optics, we've got feeds, we've got Cat. What are some of those that you're able to provide?
Cat 5, Cat 6. There is Cat 6A out there. It's cost prohibitive for most companies, but in some applications they do enough data transfer that they can justify the added expense.
Okay. What about a company out there that maybe is a medium-sized company, they're looking at growing, and they're wondering if they should do a build-out or basically just an upgrade? Is that something you can help them with that decision?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we do everything from what we classify as MAC, which is moves, adds, and changes. Somebody just needs an additional office space wired, or if they're moving into an entirely new building, we can do the build out for all of that.
Excellent. Obviously, you are located here in beautiful Colorado. We caught you here above the clouds, really, a beautiful view here. But I imagine many projects will actually take you out of this area or even out of state. Is that something that you're able to provide? Absolutely.
We've done projects in Nashville and in Pensacola, Florida. We actually were a contractor to a company that rewired Pensacola Naval Air Station after Katrina. So we were down there for several months rewiring.
Interesting. In the past here that you've done this since 2003, share with me just a couple projects that you've been personally proud of that you have under your belt.
I was a site superintendent for the main terminal out at DIA when it was built. We had many technicians out there for 2 years pulling wire. That's probably the largest one. The VA Medical Center, the old one, not the new one, of course, but I was a project manager for that as well when we completely retrofitted it with all new phone system and backbone cabling and Cat 5 to the desktop.
Do you still take a very hands-on approach when it comes to projects?
Absolutely. We're also a contractor to companies around town, and in order to maintain that kind of quality control, I am very hands-on, project managing for the companies. We're like a temporary manpower situation without the derelicts.
Obviously, large projects out there that you've been able to oversee. Many times companies need more manpower. Is that somewhere that you basically come in as well?
Absolutely. We have customers that rely on us heavily to supplement their workforce when they have more projects than they can handle or a large project that they need additional manpower. We can come in and do everything from labor to help out to full project management and to full turnkey installation.
Wonderful. So no matter if it's the client getting in touch with you or another company out there that needs your manpower, they can deal directly with you.
Right. And we do not compete with our customers in that if they give us work and continue to use us, if we run into a project where it's a bid situation and one of my customers is in there bidding the project, I back away from the project just because it behooves me not to compete with my customers.
Wonderful. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is his contact information. Speaking of hands-on, you actually reach out directly to him. He will set up that consultation with you, find out what it is that your needs are, and basically let his 30 years of experience come to play there. Once again, you can even reach out there on LinkedIn, the professional network, message him there, and he will get back with you as well. Let me ask you, a lot of projects out there that you've got going on. Is this something you still enjoy doing?
Oh, absolutely. It's really rewarding when you go into a raw construction building and you're able to build out the entire network, test everything, have the customer come in, bring their data equipment in, fire it up, and it's plug and play. So we're really a turnkey installation company.
Turnkey, helping businesses grow out there as well. Was it important for you to keep your prices competitive?
Oh, absolutely. I don't have an office in town for the simple reason that all of our work take place on the customer premise. So we just didn't need that overhead.
Wonderful, and obviously those savings can be passed on to the client as well. Last time, viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see his contact information. This is a company that began in 2003. For over 11 years, they've been providing connectivity to many, many organizations, universities, hospitals, departments, and there is basically no job that they won't take on. They will leave Colorado here if need be. They've been able to serve nationwide. That is Hegdhal Enterprises. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.